How did she manage to stay alive? Well, there are two possibilities. Firstly, she could have undergone cryosleep. Secondly, she might have cloned herself, which is intriguing because even with cloning, she would still require cryosleep unless the facility allowed for timed cloning, reminiscent of what we see in Horizon Zero Dawn with Aloy. But let's delve into that later. Similar to many misunderstood early season antagonists, we discover that Moldaver isn't entirely villainous. Sure, she charges straight into Vault 33, jeopardizing the life of her bestie's children. But really, come on.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
Her intentions were to save the world. But alas, we come to the show's overarching storyline. Everyone wants to save the world, they just can't agree on how. Her solution is obviously to use the cold fusion, but at what cost? Yeah, her intentions may be good, and really though, we can ask from whose perspective is this good or benefiting? But for now, we will leave these thoughts and discuss her intentions in another video. So let's get back to how she survived, starting with theory number 1, cryosleep. This is a complex idea, somewhat speculative, but here's how I envision it. Her research on cold fusion gets shelved, as we know, and with her company being acquired, it's uncertain whether she's let go or integrated into Vault-Tec. I lean towards the latter, speculating that she, along with her colleagues, becomes part of Vault-Tec, even for a short while. Plus, she does say to Coop that she knows Barb, so this might help this theory out a bit. I don't know, or it could be nothing. Upon encountering some of the projects there, particularly the Cryosleep initiative, she suspects Vault-Tec might have some nefarious intentions, possibly involving an impending attack. Because why would they shelve the solution to the world's power crisis and at the same time have projects that involve survival? Thus, to ensure her own survival, she constructs a replica of the cryopod, enabling her to live through the fallout. Now, I believe this explanation holds some merit for a few reasons. First and foremost, she's the individual who alerts Coop to the suspicious activities within Vault-Tec. Although she seems vague about the specifics of what she knows, we can infer that she possesses enough intelligence to grasp the significance of a major project, like cold fusion, being shelved.
Vault-Tec bought the means to end that war, the same war you fought in, so they could put it on the shelf?
The second thing is she does say this.
Shady sense.
She's lying, Lucy.
That's how Vault-Tec deals with competition, just like they did 200 years ago.
Again, I'm speculating, but she's implying that Vault-Tec has this reputation. And if they only nuked Shady Sands, which is still terrible, then that is not much of a reputation. It could have been a one-time thing, but, Hank's evil. Rather, I think this implies she was aware that Vault-Tec would be the one who launches their nuke first. Armed with this knowledge and privy to the Cryosleep initiative, I think it is highly possible a scientist as smart as her would have made a replica of a cryopod, allowing her to be alive and well and ready to fight the good fight in the new world. Of course, there are flaws in this theory, and if you are willing to share your thoughts, please leave in the comment section down below. I'm also going to say that between the two theories, this is one that I think is less messy and more likely to have actually happened in the show. But again, we won't know until season 2. Now, my second theory delves into the concept of cloning. Mirroring the previous theory's speculative nature, it suggests that Moldaver may have been aware of Vault-Tec's impending actions. Drawing parallels with that earlier theory, and I know this is a bit lazy, it proposes that Moldaver stumbled upon a vault project specialized in cloning. This theory, again, is a bit of a stretch, but just stay with me. Now, it emphasizes Moldaver's intelligence, suggesting that her exposure to various tests and projects would have raised red flags regarding impending chaos. However, considering the lack of background on cloning in the Fallout series, I want to clarify for both new and seasoned Fallout enthusiasts alike. And with that, we have to talk about the cloning process in the Fallout universe. Now, cloning is very simple. You have a subject, you do your weird sciencey stuff, and voila, you end up with a clone. This highlights one critical flaw. Cloned individuals still age naturally. Thus, if Moldaver cloned herself in 2077, the clone would have aged and likely perished by 2100, unless we borrow some of the cloning process in another game, Horizon Zero Dawn. Aloy, our protagonist, is a clone copy of Elizabeth Sobek, a scientist that perished 1,000 years before Aloy was created. So to reconcile the issue, the theory entertains the idea of Moldaver modifying the cloning process by preserving her DNA and creating the clone 2 centuries later. This would be the only way I see that cloning is a viable option. The reason I am pushing for this is I love the fact that most people that have lived for 200 plus years have done it in their own unique way. That said, even though this kind of solves the cloning process, I still think cryosleep is the more likely and less messy of the two theories.
Cryogenic array. Ultra residents must vacate.
All right, so there you have it. My theories on how Moldaver survived. Of course, if you have your own cool theories, share them in the comment section down below. Exploring these old people and how they survived has been a very entertaining topic. But before we leave, let's talk briefly about how Moldaver comes stomping into Vault 33 and risks the life of her bestie's kids.
When you find your
I found that a bit reckless, and honestly, I want to backtrack on her being one of the good guys, because clearly Rose means something, or did mean something to Moldaver, but not her kids. Like, it would have been better to see Moldaver tie up Lucy and Norm instead of going on a full-out assault without considering their safety. Although it lends itself nicely to a cloning theory, because apparently the clone person is a bit more violent. So maybe it's that. But I doubt the writers looked into it from this perspective. I just found it a bit odd. All things considered, she's just a wrecking ball in Vault 33. Then there's the how did she become the Flame Mother? I get it, she seems to have high charisma, but still how? I'm assuming that whichever theory holds true, whether it be cryosleep or cloning or both, it is still a bit wild to believe that she would all of a sudden have enough of an influence to become the NCR's leader. She must have done something drastic to become this revered figure. Obviously, her influence is unmatched. And if this is the case, why did she charge into Vault 33 with raiders? Why not get your good old NCR buddies to come through? There's just a lot of questions, I think, surrounding her character pre-Vault 33 attack and whenever she woke up. And I'm curious to see how they will tell that story, because she essentially kicks off the events of the TV series. She's also the one who contacts Ziggy Wilzig, and there is a question of how. I'm going to get inside my own rabbit hole and conclude she's part of the Enclave, so before we get that delusional, let's officially end it at that. Moldaver in my headcanon survived one of two ways: cryosleep or time cloning. That is going to do it for me in this one, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and let's get talking. Make sure to like and sub for more Fallout lore. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.